Once upon a time, there was a homeless man, and he was trying to gather food. He kept noticing his food every day would disappear. One day, he caught the mouse that keeps stealing his food and said, "Hey, mouse, why are you stealing my food? I'm a homeless man. You should steal from richer people than me. They won't even notice it." And the mouse said, "It's your destiny that you can only have 8 items in your possession, no matter how much you beg, no matter how much you gather, because all you will be able to have." And the homeless man was shocked and said, "Why is that my destiny?" And the mouse said, "I don't know. You should try and ask the Buddha." And the homeless man began his journey to find the Buddha. And he was going. It got late, so he stopped at the wealthy family's house and asked the wealthy man to spend the night. And they let him in and asked, "Hey, young man, why are you traveling so late?" And he answered, "I have a question for the Buddha. Tomorrow I will be on my journey." And the family said, "Can we give you a question to ask the Buddha? We have a 16-year-old daughter who cannot speak. We just want you to ask, what do we have to do to have her speak?" So the homeless man thanked them for the shelter and told them, "Of course, maybe I can ask on your behalf." The next morning, he continued his journey and saw the sea of mountains that he has to cross. He climbed up one mountain and he met the wizard. The wizard decided to use his staff and take the homeless man and himself, fly them across the sea of mountain. And the wizard asked, "Hey, young man, where are you going? Why are you deciding to cross these mountains?" The homeless man said, "I am going to ask the Buddha a question about my destiny." And the wizard said, "Can I please give you a question to ask the Buddha? I've been trying to go to heaven for 1,000 years according to my teaching. I should be able to go to heaven now. Can you please ask the Buddha, what do I have to do to go to heaven?" And the homeless man said, "Of course, I will ask your question for you." As he continued on his journey, he ran into his last obstacle, which is the river that he cannot cross. Luckily, he met a giant turtle, who decided to take him across the river. As they are crossing the river, the turtle asked, "Where are you going?" "I am going to see the Buddha. I am going to ask him a question about my destiny." The turtle then said, "Would you please ask a question for me? I've been trying to become a dragon for 500 years according to my teaching. I should have become a dragon by now. Can you please ask the Buddha, what do I have to do to become a dragon?" So the homeless man thanks the turtle for taking him across the river and said, "Of course, I will ask your question for you." And the homeless man finally reached where the Buddha resides, and the Buddha tells everybody, "I will answer 3 questions for everybody, but only 3 questions." And the young man was shocked and said, "But I have 4." So he thinks carefully. He thinks about the turtle. The turtle has been living for 500 years trying to become a dragon. And the wizard has been living for 1,000 years trying to get to heaven. And the younger is going to live her whole life being unable to speak. And then he looked at himself and said, "I'm just a homeless beggar. I can just go back home and continue begging. It's okay. I'm used to it." So as he looked at everybody else's problems, his problems suddenly seemed so small, and he felt sorry for the turtle, the wizard, and the young girl, and the time to have all of their questions. So he asked the Buddha, and the Buddha answered, "The turtle is unwilling to leave the shell. As long as he is unwilling to leave the comfort of the shell, he will never become a dragon." And the wizard always carries his staff and never put it down. It acts as anchor keeping him from heaven. And the young girl, she'll be able to speak when she meets her soulmate. So the homeless man bowed to the Buddha and went on his journey back home. He reunited with the turtle and told the turtle, "Hey, you just have to take off your shell, and you can become a dragon." And the turtle then takes off the shell. And inside the shell were the priceless pearl found in the deepest parts of ocean, and gave it to the homeless man and told him, "Thank you. I no longer need this because I am now a dragon," and flew away. The homeless man reunited with the wizard on the top of a mountain and said, "You just have put down your staff and you will be able to go to heaven." And the wizard let go his staff by giving it to the homeless man and said, "Thank you," then ascended to the heaven. The young man now has wealth from the turtle and the power from the wizard, and he went back to the family and he told them that the Buddha said, "Your daughter will be able to speak when she meets her soulmate." And at that moment, the daughter came downstairs and said, "Hey, is that the man that was here last week?" And the young girl and the homeless man had found their soulmate. This story tells us so many things, so many lessons. But for me, I think that sometimes we have to give some things in order to get some things. Sometimes, if we want to become a dragon, become a lion, we have to be willing to leave behind with what makes us most comfortable, what makes us feel most safe. We have to leave our comfort zone just like a turtle did. And in order to find true love, we must become somebody who is willing to put others before ourselves. When we are alone and when we are lost in our thoughts, sometimes our problems seem so big and it may seem like it's the end of the world. But if you look at other people's lives, other people who don't have as much opportunity as you and have it worse than you, sometimes it makes your problem seem so much smaller. If you are willing to lend a hand to those who are struggling more than you, willing to help them, it may change the course of your life, your destiny, and the universe may repay you in such a way that you never would have imagined. All good things that you do in this world will become back to you. So if you are going through hard times right now, I hope this story can help.